All right, welcome to another video. More gear related topics, and I thought I would just continue to discuss one of the Nikon DSLR and lens setups that I truly believe launched and started my career in landscape and fly fishing and outdoor solo lifestyle type photography. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Aaron Goodis. I am a landscape, fly fishing, and outdoor lifestyle photographer based here in Vancouver, British Columbia. And on this channel, I typically talk about some of the gear that I use as a professional photographer. I don't go into too many of the details. I just talk about the basics and why some of the gear that I use still works and are great options for someone who's getting into photography and wants to shoot professional photography. I also talk about fly fishing, and I do photography vlogs from time to time. So if you're into that type of content, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and yeah, hopefully that you get something out of these videos and you learn a little bit about my process in photography. Yeah, so I think in this video, I just wanted to touch more on this particular setup, this camera and lens setup. I talked a lot more about all the camera bodies and lenses that I still use in past videos, so maybe check those out if you're interested. But this one just has kind of like a special place in my heart. I've had this camera since just past launch, which was around 2011. So well over 10 years now, and I still use this camera and lens setup to this day. Not as much as I used to because I've upgraded since then, but it's still a very usable camera, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. And for someone who's maybe trying to get into professional level photography on a budget, I just thought this would be a really good opportunity to discuss this particular setup, because I have shot some of my more memorable images on this particular setup. So it's the Nikon D300s. The actual camera body was launched in 2009, and the lens that's on this camera is a DX lens, as well as the body. So they're both DX, which means that they're cropped sensor. So they don't have a full frame sensor. They are about a 1.5 times crop, smaller than a 35 millimeter full frame. But that has not stopped this camera setup from making some of the best images that I've ever created. It's the Nikon D300s and the Nikon 10-24 f3.5 to 4 DX lens. Okay, so talking about the camera body itself, again, it's the D300s. It's definitely a very old camera body. It's a DX sensor. It's 12 megapixels. It's not good in low light if you're hand holding with high ISO. I don't max the ISO any more than about 800, so it's definitely pretty limited that way. But if you have a tripod and you're going to shoot slow exposures at a lower ISO from 100 to 200, I think it actually starts at 200, and the low ISOs are 100. So I typically would shoot 200 to 400, try to keep it as pretty much base as you can to max out the image quality. So that means usually a slower exposure and using a tripod. But this camera body has produced just some remarkable images. So definitely built like a tank. It's withstood lots of like pretty nasty weather. So it's just a really robust camera, and I would highly recommend it. I've found this particular camera body in really good condition, even with like a battery included, for about $250. So it's a really, really good system. At a used price like that, it's just kind of insane. But it's not good at video. I mean, it does shoot video, but I wouldn't recommend it for video. But for still photography, for someone who's getting into it and wants like a really robust camera body that just shoots extremely clean images. And this particular lens, it's also been really nice, super wide angle, nice and light, fits the camera body super nice, very sharp. I've just really used this lens for a lot of my work, especially landscapes that are super wide angle. I've done tons of slow exposures with this lens. So it's just a really nice wide angle setup. This lens also, I think, retailed for around $1,200 when it came out. And now you can find it for about $250. So pretty incredible to get like a setup like this. Yes, it's used, although it's in good condition, for probably under $500. To have this, and I can show you a bunch of the photos that I've taken with it. It definitely is a very good setup, and it will definitely do everything you need for prints up to about 24 by 36 inches. So quite big prints. Perfect for social media. I've done a lot of brand work with this setup as well. And just great for just hobbyist use if you're doing landscape photography with a tripod. Yeah, really, really nice. So that is the Nikon D300s with the Nikon DX 10-24 f3.5 to 4 millimeter lens. It's just an awesome, awesome setup. I'm going to talk a little bit about the filters that I would add to this setup if I was buying it again now. And what's awesome about this lens is it is a 77 millimeter thread on the front. So that's a pro, basically it's a pro threading. So a lot of your filters, the filter mount or the threading for the filters is like a pro size. So a lot of the filters that you would use for this lens, you would end up using for a lot of the other professional level glass out there. So the three filters, with exception to the UV clear, just a protection filter that I've always had on my lenses, is a polarizing filter. So the 77 millimeter polarizing filter just cuts all the glare, saturates some color naturally. It does give a little bit of a slower exposure, so it's about a stop or two decreasing of shutter speed if you're using this filter. But it's a really nice filter. I use this for almost all of my outdoor work. And if I'm trying to slow down exposures, I have two different filters. They're ND or neutral density filters. One is 6 stops, so 6 stops darker. And the other one is 10 stops, so it's a full 10 stops darker. So if you can imagine, both these filters will slow down your shutter speeds kind of extreme. So if you're in, you know, like lower light, so sunsets, sunrises, but you want that really silky look in the water with slow exposures from like 2 to 30 seconds, maybe even longer, the 6 stop is perfect. If I want daytime really slow exposures or just extreme slow exposures, anywhere from like 1 minute to potentially 10 minutes, the 10 stop filter is really much, it's very much needed for that. But typically I use the polarizing filter pretty much 90% of the time. And if I'm in lower light and I want to take this off because I'm hand holding, I'll put back on that UV filter, but I always only use one filter at a time, never stack the filters. So take this one off, put the polarizer on, you're good to go. So these 3 filters with this particular setup, for a lot of your wide angle seascape, landscape, fly fishing photography, just a killer combo. And you can just, like I said, pick it up super dirt cheap. Yeah, I think it's a really good buy for anyone who's getting into it and wants like just kind of a robust, you know, workhorse, super solid DSLR. for a really good price. Yeah, I just want to talk about that. So there you go. That's pretty much it. I hope that you get something out of this video. Hope that you can learn a little bit about my gear and the process that I use for making images and photography. That's about it. So again, I really appreciate you watching the video. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.